some internal warfare that was going on that was projected onto me, because I couldn't, and as a woman, this is sometimes, is just things that we deal with as a woman, that men, you are so skillful a lot of times at compartmentalizing things.
Oh, I do it all the time.
And women don't really know how to do that. So I couldn't understand how he could disconnect me, how I feel about him not speaking to me for a week, from the fact that he didn't speak to me for a week. Somehow in his mind,
right,
those were two separate things, and I should have just understood that one had nothing to do with the other. But I'm like,
no, it don't work like that. I know. I remember I dated a girl one time, and I was just in a space where I just want to be left alone for 3 days. The only person I answered the call was when my sister called. Like, my mom called me, I didn't answer the phone, right? And she said, well, what's wrong? What'd I do? And I'm like, you didn't do anything. And she harped on it, like, well, I don't understand. Well, I mean, I was just in a place where I want to be. It's just like when, hey, women don't want to be, they want to go in the bathroom, lock the door, take a bubble bath, whatever, just be left alone. It ain't no different for a man, you know what I'm saying? Granted, we may not go into details about it, you know what I'm saying, but, but then again, but to treat you a certain way, like, I mean, did he get, like, angry with you and just didn't talk to you? Or, because my friend, like I said, my homegirl, she got angry. And then she walked away.
No, he didn't. He just completely shut down. There was no anger. It was the silence that really killed. It wasn't even the need for space, because I can totally respect that.
Right.
It was the silence. I didn't know why. So I just felt abandoned, and I felt rejected. Right. If you had just said to me, the results of the election are just devastating to me, and I just need time to process, I'd been like, oh, okay, I don't miss you. Let me know when you're ready to talk.
Here's your little pat.
Yeah, exactly. But it was just like, we got in an argument, and now you're not talking to me. But then you're going to tell me it didn't have anything to do with that. I'm like, of course it did, didn't it? Why would I think anything else?
Well, I'm saying, when you admitted who you voted for, when did you pick up? Oh, he didn't admit that until afterwards. Because, I mean, you said...
Like, what do you mean?
Well, you said, you had voted for who you voted for, right? I don't really care. You said, you voted for who you voted for, right? Because that's your business. But he had an issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
And he held that against you.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So, was there anything that even leads you to believe, hey, we're talking about this, and then all of a sudden...
No, we had talked about it previously. I mean, when we first... you always want to know who your close friends and family are voting for, right? Don't you?
Not really.
Oh, you don't? Well, I always want to know.
So I can keep relationships? I don't need to know.
Really? I enjoy a good debate. Like, it doesn't get me mad to have a difference of opinion from someone. I enjoy it.
Right.
So I like to find out where people are at, and I try to feel them out a little bit to see if they're the type of person I can have a conversation about it with. Like my son, he and I are on opposing views, but we can have a really healthy, intellectual dialogue about it with no animosity whatsoever. So it's cool with us. But other people, when I see that they get real hot about it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring this up again.
I don't want to find myself arguing with a fool.
Well, I mean,
I don't mean like I don't talk about. I mean, I talk about politics with people, friends, whatever. And I have people just admit, it's I like to understand why people have an educated decision that they make.
Right, exactly.
Okay, exactly. So you vote for Trump. Why? Well, he's gonna build that wall. Okay, first of all, I know he can't build a wall. So next, well, he gonna make America great again. That's vague. Now what? You know what I'm saying? People, I don't. If you give me a legitimate reason why you voted for Trump, I can't fault you for that. I have friends who voted for him who gave me a legitimate reason. Like, I remember, I didn't think he was going to become president. I ain't going to lie to you. I understood he was going to get far when he first started.
Mm-hmm.
I understood why people liked him. I actually watched one of his rallies. I was like, I get why people don't like him. Rubio's a robot. He's trained. People hate Ted Cruz. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to buy me. He kept saying, well, I've bought everybody up here. You can't buy me. Because, I know that if somebody buys me, I have to pay them back later.
Right.
I can understand why people would like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't hate people for it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I do know some people that are racist. They make a lot of... And you got to be careful with the racist word, too, because, real racism, for me personally, economic. You know what I'm saying? Calling me the N-word, That's not really racist. You might be a bigot.
Well, I have a definition for that. I'll put it on my page. Let me see if I can
But
find
like,
it.
if you try to affect me economically, like where I can't. I just heard something recently where somebody was talking about. Okay, remember like the Dixie Chicks made the comment about Bush one time, and they were trying to, like, the Republican Party was trying to get people to stop buying her records and buying their records, and they were crushing their CDs in the street. When you affect somebody how they make a living, how they take care of themselves and their family, that's racist to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel like another person can have a belief that's not equal to yours. Now, if you out here, but you had a right to be a bigot. I mean, if you don't like me, that's your right.
So this was my it's something I posted on Facebook. It says, here is the true definition of bigotry and the true nature of racism: a disdain for and negative judgment of another human soul based on disagreement, adversity, or difference of any kind. And also partiality, so we don't look at it this way,
Right.
partiality toward another human soul based on sameness. So bigotry is when you're against somebody because they're different, or you're for somebody because they're the same.
Yeah.
That's the flip side of being.
Like, everybody's a bigot, my opinion.
So
To a degree.
that includes religious, political, race, culture, sexual orientation, economic status, educational, social standing, nationality, appearance, weight, skin pigment, zip code, job title, denomination, fraternity, sorority, popularity, sports team preference, etc. If you have a disdain or a negative emotional judgment of somebody based on something that is different than what you believe, that is the nature of a bigot. That is true bigotry.
You are a bigot if you fit in one of them categories.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of that, now, how
Or
many
at least
people-
have the seed of it.
Now, look how many people. Everybody has that seed in them. It's God who helps you overcome that.
That's
So-
true. You're right.
So look at it from this standpoint. Now, literally, if you had to face the fact that's who you are. When you vote, that's what happens sometimes. Because if somebody says, "Oh, you voted for Trump," then I'm against you, blah 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 blah.
That's bigotry coming out then. I mean,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. That's for you to dislike somebody or to feel that strongly negative toward them
Right.
because they voted differently. It's exposing bigotry in you. You can't dislike somebody for being different than you. That's not a reason to dislike somebody, to be. And I love how people try to give it a different label so it doesn't sound as bad. I'm just disappointed. No, that's the same dark. Well, I'm not angry. I'm upset. No, that's just,
Yeah.
any type of negatively projected emotion onto a person
Yeah.
because of a difference of opinion is a form of bigotry. It's a seed, it's a contamination. And we really need to get down to the nitty gritty of our own issues. So when you were asking me about my friend, the reason I brought that up is because I'm the one who brought up the conversation to see who he was voting for. That was way,
Right.
earlier when the primaries had started. I just liked the dialogue. It really didn't matter to
Yeah.
me what the answer was. I just loved the dialogue. The dialogue revealed some other things about our core beliefs that got kind of heated. So that's how that went.
So I'm gonna give a good example. That you said there, right? So I had a friend. They don't get the name right. We had a conversation once, and he was like, "Man, you know what? I had a friend that's a Muslim, and he was like, you know what? I want to have a conversation with a Jewish person, a Christian, and I want to talk about God." And my boy was like, I was like, "That's cool. You know what I'm saying? I can do that. That's cool." And he goes, "No, I can't do it, man, because I'm in conversion mode. So if I can't convert them, I don't want to do it." You can't convert nobody if you don't sit down with them. You think what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. You have to hear what they say and take your study and your background, whatever, basically your study, and go, well, this is how I see it. This is beliefs versus like principles. My principles tell me my principles tell me homosexuality is wrong.
Okay.
My beliefs say, well, at the end of the day, everybody needs somebody to love them. I'm not saying it's right, and because the sin issue is the lust, right?
Mm-hmm.
should they get married? That's a belief.
Mm-hmm.
My principles say homosexuality as a whole is just wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't hate them. I have nothing against them. I got friends that are atheists. I have friends that are gay. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be a bigot towards them, like be against them, because then I lost the love I'm supposed to have. It took away from all the Christian principles, Christ's teachings that I'm supposed to have.
Well, isn't there, okay, but how do you draw the line? And that kind of brings up a different spin on it. How do you draw the line between, you know, there's reference in the Bible to hating what God hates. Now, we know he doesn't hate.
We're not in a position to manage.
Wait, let me finish
that God's have.
Let me finish your question first, though. Let me finish the question. So, we're instructed to hate what he hates.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm paraphrasing, of course. Hate what he hates, love what he loves. God doesn't hate people. He doesn't hate sinners, but he hates certain types of behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get to the point where you're able to separate the behavior from the person? Like, how do you draw the line with that? You know, because like one of the things that I really, really hate personally, real deeply, is pedophilia. I hate knowing that a child has been sexually violated. It does something so destructive to their lives that most people don't recover from.
Right.
That's something that I really hate. It's hard to separate that from the person that commits the act.
But this is what I'm saying. So, like, in God's eyes, right,
Mm-hmm.
sin is sin, big or small, doesn't matter. Sin is sin. He doesn't go, oh, this is a bigger sin. Well, there's something like blasphemy, but in general, it's all equal to him. You know, outside of blasphemy, it's all pretty much equal, right? So, you hate the sin of a person preying on a child, because that's a sin and a lust issue, preying on and abusing a child.
Mm-hmm.
The person himself who's struggling with that demon, struggling with that issue, you know, you have to pray for that person, pray for their soul, that they have, you know, that God can deliver them from that, or put them around people that can help them fight that issue. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you more hate the sin than anything else.
But I hate it so much that I want to separate from a person that is in fellowship with that sin, because the Bible says, what fellowship have light with darkness? And there's a difference between somebody struggling with a sin issue and somebody chilling with it like they buddies. You know, not everybody is struggling with sin. You know, take homosexuality, for instance. There are some people that are quote unquote struggling with it. They don't enjoy the lifestyle.
Right.
It just has a grip on them and they wish they could live differently. But there's another group of people that are like, hey, this is me, you know, this is who I am.
Yeah.
So, you know, what fellowship have light with darkness? Where do you begin to draw that line to say that if you have fellowship with that, I can't have fellowship with you? Doesn't mean I hate you, but I can't have fellowship with that.
But think about it like this standpoint. There's certain emotions we're not meant to handle because we're human.
Okay.
Hence why God warned Adam about eating from the tree of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Because that just couldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Because there's just certain understanding. We just can't deal with them. We can sit back and say we have a certain thing. Like, good example. Somebody can easily say, oh, in this situation, I'm going to do this when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But then they find themselves in a situation and they do the complete opposite.
Right.
So when people go to war, I'm this big bad soldier, right? You get in the war, they drop you in the middle of it, you be the first one to drop your gun and run, or, you know, drop you in a fetal position. Then the ones you never expected, they're so fearful and scared, then they drop in and they just rise to the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we're not, and then like you just said, you hate it, right? So that you hate that so much, it's leading you to do things that can block the love in your heart. And it can harden your heart. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's easy. I'm just saying that's kind of just the reality of just like.
What is your point though? Like, so what are you saying?
I mean, you have to.
You started off by saying there's certain emotions that we're not equipped to handle.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So you have to learn how to really pray and talk to God first. Like, I have hate in my heart, and I need for you to talk. I need for you to work on me to deliver this hate. Because once you get past the hate, you learn how to, because at some point I have to learn how to, because you're going to come across somebody, you ever saying like whoever you hate going to be part of your family? you know, whoever you hate will probably, you know, if a son or daughter, you know, may marry somebody you don't like, or they may be a sexual orientation that you don't like, or whatever, for whatever reason. That's how bad hate can control your life and affect you. So the whole, I mean, I don't like pedophiles. I don't hate them. I don't like them. I don't like nothing about what they do. I hate the fact that they hurt children.
Right, right.
But I don't hate them.
So what I'm
to cause me to see if you're not careful, it'll cause you to sin.
What I'm asking you though, and I don't hate. No, I don't have any hate.
You said hate like 3 times.
I said the activity. No, not the person. Please don't misunderstand. Don't hate
I'm
nobody except my ex. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
I might need some prayer there, but no. I the reason that I use that strong word is because when I'm talking about when you have a hatred for a certain behavior or sin issue that is hurting other people.
Right.
Like, you know, like the KKK, you know, you think about what they did
terrorist
back in...
group.
That's a terrorist organization, how they hung people, how they lynched them, how they burned them. That was such a deeply, deeply hateful activity that you hate the activity. It's hard to separate that from the person who's doing it, not in terms of hating the person, I didn't mean that. But I'm talking about drawing a line of fellowship. Like, I'm going to have to love you from afar because you have a lifestyle, you have a love affair with something that I hate. So I don't hate you.
But I mean, but you said love from afar. If that's what you have to do, I mean, look, they beat Jesus. You know what I'm saying? They spit on him. They stuck a spur in his side. You know what I'm saying? And he still was like, God, forgive him. I'm not. If you have hate in your heart, it hardens and it'll take over when you least expect it.
Okay, but I'm talking for the person or the activity.
Then hate from afar. I mean, you know. No.
I'm saying, can you have hatred for the sin? That's what I'm asking you.
I think you can hate the sin, but that's what I said earlier. Okay. You hate the sin, but you can't hate the person. So that's what I'm saying. You can hate the sin.
Right, and in hating that sin, then you can't have fellowship with somebody that's in fellowship with a sin that you hate. That's what I'm asking you.
Well, okay, think about the sin. Like, okay, let's say you have a sin, like somebody dealing with like this. Hey, I chase women, right? And then, but it's your minister, right? Well, you don't hate your minister because he chases. Like, you might not like him, but you ain't just. You know what I'm saying? You still go to his church and sit in front of him and let him preach to you instead of
maybe
him,
like me.
Instead of him sitting down, stepping down till he works through his sin issues.
Like me, I might leave a place like that. You know, because I dislike a certain behavior so much, I just don't want to be around it.
You know, so.
Okay. I mean, it was just a question.
I'm not.
It kind of came up, so I was like, I might as well throw that out there. A little bit deeper on relationships and how we have to draw the line. But I think it's relative to what we're talking about when politics trump relationships or when anything for that matter trumps the value of your relationship. But you know, at the end of the day, I think sometimes there are some disagreements and core conflicts that are so deep that you will have to separate from somebody. And, you know, a political disagreement may just reveal other underlying issues about people, things that you just didn't know. During this particular election, some white people, even some black people may have found out that their best friend was a racist. And that may have been enough of a reason for them to say, you know what, I just really don't want to fellowship with you anymore like that.
I remember being in art school one time, right? Probably about 21 then. I remember, I keep it short. So this guy who was out taking a smoke break. I was smoking one, but we took a smoke break, right? So I'm out there, you know, just chilling, whatever. And I heard him talking to this white guy. He was talking to this other dude, and he was like, man, you know what, this freaking nigger broke in my car. I'm smoking. I just looked back at him, right? And now, openly, he was not talking to me. I know he wasn't talking directing that to me. I understood the context when he said it, but then when I looked back, he was trying to explain himself. Like, oh, TK, you know, I don't mean it like that. I'm not talking to you. First time he was talking to me, in them days, I'd have beat you. I'd have beat you if you ever directed at me. Not justifying what you're doing, but then he tried to explain. I said, the more you explain it to me, the more angry I'm going to get. So you need to stop talking right now before this will get out of where I feel like you're addressing this to me. And then after that, I kind of just kept my distance from him after that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any hate against him, but I had to watch it from afar. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, when people's hearts are revealed to you, sometimes it can reveal something that you just feel is detrimental to your health, to your mindset,
Yeah.
to your Christianity, and you just don't want it around you anymore. And I don't think that is, we talked about all of the negative reasons why politics trump relationships, but sometimes there are certain relationships that you really need to separate yourself. And sometimes strife happens in the Bible. We see, I call it a divine disruption.
Right.
Lot and Abraham, that was a divine disconnection.
Right.
Paul and Silas, that was a divine disconnection. Sometimes we are divinely, David and Jonathan, they were divinely knitted together, and then they were divinely disconnected, because had Jonathan lived, he was the one that was going to take the throne. Yeah, but that's right. He was the heir to the throne. So had he lived, David would have had to go to war with him to get the throne. So sometimes we are divinely disconnected from people, and that is what needs to happen for the sake of our destiny, that people come for a season, a reason, or a lifetime, and their season or their reason might just be up.
Sometimes I think people have a reason they want to walk away. And the short net is this.
That's so good.
I got this, I figured this out for myself, my own life, like about 10 years ago. And it was that at some point in time, my friends are going to disappoint me. I don't look for it. It's just a matter of time before they do it. Like, I might disappoint somebody at some given time, right? They don't expect me to it because they put so much faith in me, or I put so much faith in another person, that when they disappoint me, I'm so hurt and I'm hangry, it angers me, right? Mm-hmm. Regardless of what it is. Something small might be big, somebody else, whatever, but I try to just go this way. At some point, everybody's going to disappoint me. It's a matter of when. So when I know it's coming, so when they do it, it's going, well, it was to come. So just like with Jesus and Judas. Jesus knew Judas was going to betray him. Mm-hmm. Openly spoke to him, told him go ahead and do it, right? And roll with the flow regardless. You know what I'm saying? Mm. So I've tried to walk like that, because that's helped me a lot in a lot of relationships. It applied when the little situation with you. Like, I didn't hate him. Here's a situation where you let me down, because I knew it was coming at some point. I can not be mad at you, and I can live my life, because hate, you can't look forward when you're full of hate too. Mm-hmm. So.
Right. And sometimes a situation like that, like with her, it just causes you to reevaluate the relationship.
It wasn't evaluate. She walked away. She missing out.
That's what I'm saying is, though, it gave you the opportunity to reevaluate the connection that obviously you didn't have any real value to her. So there was nothing to miss. In my situation with my friend, it caused me to reevaluate our relationship. He didn't lose any value to me whatsoever.
Right.
It just revealed to me that there's some other issues that probably need to be resolved in our connection, that something is unhealthy.
Right.
So it just caused me to reevaluate. When you reevaluate, you're going to come to different conclusions. You may come to the conclusion that the friendship is not worth it, that it's not healthy. You might come to the conclusion that it is worth it and that it needs to be fixed, But disagreement, we did a show called Conflict with Benefits. Conflict is not a bad thing. Conflict, I see it as an opportunity for a relationship to grow. It is a stripping away of things that keep us from bonding. And if you ever use any type of bonding agent, you know that before you apply that bonding agent, the surface has to be clean. You have to clean up all of the debris. There can't be any oil. There can't be any impediments. And so sometimes...
A drop of the water.
Yeah, that drop of water. Sometimes some of the things that we have going on prevents us from bonding the way that would really allow for the deepest, most satisfying intimacy in our friendships, in our family relationships, in our romantic relationships. And so the show is coming to a close, but I just want to close by letting people know that, if during this political season politics trumped your relationships, it's really a time for you to evaluate yourself. Are there underlying elements of bigotry and contamination in you? Is there arrogance? Is there ignorance? Is there pride? Is there rebellion? Is there something in you that facilitated the breakdown of that relationship? You need to reevaluate the relationship, the value of it in your life. Are there some foundational issues that you need to work on to get that relationship I'm not going to say back to a healthy place, because if there was a breach over political differences, the relationship wasn't healthy to begin with. So then you need to get that relationship to a healthy place if it's a relationship that you want to keep. You need to evaluate whether or not this was a divine disruption. You know, is God trying to disconnect you from this person for whatever reason, because they are a hindrance to your destiny? You may be a hindrance to their destiny. Hey, you know,
right.
Or the season just might be up. But it's really an opportunity. Conflict is an opportunity really for debris and obstructions to be removed, for deeper, more satisfying, meaningful, authentic intimacy. And that's what's really important at the end of the day, because if the friendship is really solid, if it's really real, if the love is genuine, you're going to be able to survive anything, to last through anything. You're going to continue to thrive and grow, and adversity only makes you stronger. Anything that is growing and healthy comes stronger with adversity. So if this political election destroyed a relationship, it just wasn't meant to be. But if it's healthy enough to thrive, then the tension and the strife that arose because of this is really an opportunity for you to become better, for them to become better, and for the relationship to become better. So I want to thank my special guest, TK, on One Kingdom Radio.
Thank you for having me. I was blessed to be here, and I'm blessed with the conversation. Hope it helps somebody.
I'm sure it helped a lot of people. We would love to have you back at another time. Remember to check out One Kingdom Radio every Wednesday night from 7 to 9 right here in the Blue Stream before my show. This is Dr. Intimacy. You've been listening to Intimacy Talk Radio, where we're having naked discussions about love, life, and intimacy. Hashtag no socks. Here every Wednesday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. FBRN.US in the Blue Bowl, broadcasting live from the beautiful city of Arlington, Texas. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram. Check out our website, inspiredintimacy.com, for all of our replays. Check out the live replays on my Facebook page, Dr. Intimacy. Love you guys. We'll be back next week. Next week is Thanksgiving, so it's actually going to be a pre-recorded broadcast next week. So everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Eat too much and work it off the next day while you shop for Black Friday. Love you guys. This is Dr. Intimacy. Remember, a life inspired by love and intimacy is the only life worth living. Thank you, Jay Revival, for all your help.
We're doing a show next week. I'm gonna play that thing everybody playing, chickens and peas and greens and chicken. You see that?
That is the funniest. You haven't heard it?
Sarah, what's her name? She's an old gospel singer, so she was singing this in church.
Thank you, Facebook Live. Sorry.